Good evening, everyone. This is Amrita again, and today my guest is Mr. Tye, and he's from England. He's a native English speaker. So we are going to talk on how to improve English language skills. So, Mr. Tye, could you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name's Ty. I'm from England, London, and I'm here tonight and afternoon in my country to talk about improving English. And I'm happy to be here, Amrita, and thank you for welcoming me to your show.
It's my pleasure to have you here. I hope this session is going to be very fruitful for my learners who are very much interested to improve their English language skills.
Yeah, so I'm from England, London. I'm a certified TEFL teacher since 2016. My trade job is a printing engineer. And so basically, I'm in the middle of making a transition to teaching English online. I also have my material on 4 social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can look for it. It's spelled Languact. I'm sure Amrita will leave a link at the end. So it's spelled Languact, and that basically stands for language you activate. Because I believe if you're learning a language, it's not a passive thing; it's a continual thing. You've got to activate it. So, yeah, that's why I've chose the name Languact.
You need to put constant effort in order to learn a language because language is ever evolving. You cannot learn it overnight. It's a language.
Most definitely. So I'm also here to discuss with Amrita particulars in language learning, and I'm going to start off with some questions, if that's okay. I've got some not difficult questions; they're quite simple questions,
Okay.
and if they are difficult, just tell me to go over them again. I don't mind. So I'm aware that you're an English language teacher, and I just wanted to know how many years you've been doing it and why you wanted to be an English language teacher.
Okay, because I did my graduation and post-graduation in English language teaching and applied linguistics. English is an international language, and it is the language we need to learn in order to do globally connect with global people, and in order to connect with people around the world. And if if we want to get a good job, and if we want to have higher studies, if you want to connect with people from around the world, then English serves as lingua franca. English serves as global language, and it's the tool to communicate with other people. So, as it is very important to know. That's why it came into my mind that yes, I should start learning this language, and then why not? When I achieved my goal, then I thought, okay, now I do some courses, and I should start teaching others.
Okay, cool, good response. Okay, my next question is what type of techniques, what methods do you use to teach your students?
Well, I teach actually eclectic method of teaching. I mean, it's not like I stick to one particular method. No, I try to use different kinds of method and approaches because different learners have different kind of learning abilities. Some are kinesthetic learners, some are audio visual learners, some are audio only visual learners, and so they're a communicative approach, they're a direct method, grammar translation method. The grammar translation method is not actually appropriate for learning English speaking skills, because by learning about grammar
Yes.
and just writing, it's not going to help you to produce English language or any other language that you are trying to learn. So direct method works best here, and sometimes I also use audiolingual method, and communicative approaches works best.
Okay. Okay. So it's definitely an eclectic mix. And I would say quickly for yourself, how did you get to advanced level English? Because you sound quite advanced to me. How many years do you think it took you to reach the level that you're at in English right now?
Well, from my childhood, I have been learning English because in Bangladesh, because I grew up I born and raised in Bangladesh. So
Okay.
from class 1 until 12th class, we have been learning English as a compulsory
Okay.
subject. Yes. And then you are free to choose any subject.
Okay.
And I did my graduation and post graduation in English language teaching and applied linguistics. So I
Okay.
went further into it.
Also another question which I didn't plan to say, in your country are a lot of the industries, a lot of the fields, do they use English in your country in
Yes,
most of the
English is
lines of work?
becoming an official language and it's getting popular nowadays. And
Okay,
it
cool, cool.
is an official language in our country.
All right. Okay.
Okay, someone
Um,
wants to join us. Uh,
okay.
can I add him, Mr.
Yes, most definitely.
Kasimullah?
I'd love to hear what you have to
Yes.
say.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, we can keep continuing our conversation.
Okay, cool. Most definitely. All right. Oh, okay. So, oh yes, another thing I wanted to ask. The advancements of applications. We all know that since the internet's been around and everyone's got mobile phones, we have the easy access to use apps. For example, we've got apps like Duolingo, Babel. Is it Babel? I think, or Babel. I can't remember. Yeah. So basically, I want your thoughts on learning apps. You think they can assist you to learn a language to maybe an intermediate level or not?
It
What do you
can work
think of?
as a sidekick, I would
Okay,
say. I
all
mean,
right,
it can be helpful for practicing alone at home when you
yeah,
don't have any language partner to talk to. So you can use this
yes,
apps. Using these apps, you can engage yourself in learning English. So yes, it's helpful, but it's not the only thing that you can use to learn a language, because learning a language is nothing but giving yourself enough comprehensible input and
mm,
giving others the output. So input and output, you will have to take the receptive skills through reading and through listening, and then you will have to produce it through
yes,
writing and through your speech. So you will have to learn anything by doing. I mean, if you don't practice speaking, then you cannot speak in that
yes,
your target language or
most definitely.
yes, yes.
Okay, and one of the last questions I wanted to ask you: what do you think, in your opinion, is the best way to learn a language? I know it's a difficult one.
Well, the best way to learn a language. Okay, I don't think there is any kind of best way to learn a language, but you will have to engage yourself in your target language. The language you are trying to learn, you will have to engage yourself, dive into this language, and in this era of internet, it's possible. Even you,
Mm,
if you don't live in an English speaking country, you don't need to go for an immersion program
mm,
for this. Staying in a non-English speaking country, you can do it by using app, by searching on Google, by searching on YouTube. You will get a lot of authentic resources and materials, and by using this kind of helpful materials, you can start practicing yourself. And what I want to say you that that you need to have the positive mindset. You need to take it as a challenge, and you
Mm-mm.
will have to put constant effort. And
Mm.
if you don't put a constant effort, then if you don't actually try to achieve something in your life, then you cannot actually achieve anything in your life. Almost for any kind of skill, it's not about language, it's about everything. If you want to learn something, you need to put constant effort. You need to have confidence in yourself, and you need to know the purpose of learning that skill. I mean, why do you want to learn a
Mm.
language? What's the purpose of learning a language? Is it
Mm.
because you want to run an international business? Is it because you want to travel to an English speaking country, or you want to get a very good job in a multinational company? So you need to know the purpose of learning the language. Then you can do it. You can have the positive mindset. Otherwise, if you just, okay, I need to learn English, okay, I will start doing from tomorrow. So procrastination is the
Mm. Mm.
main
Mm.
hindrance. If you just
Yes.
okay, I will do it, and you know uh, don't just put yourself into it, then you are not going to
Mm.
learn it. So the best method, okay, there are a lot of methods that can be successful to one particular learner, but it can be unsuccessful to another, because if you follow the guidelines, if you follow any method, can be best and successful if you follow the guidelines and if you
Mm.
put constant effort. But if you don't put constant effort, if you don't have positive mindset, and if you don't want to follow the guidelines, then you cannot achieve anything. So
Yeah.
as an adult learner, you will have to follow this kind of things.
Okay. Okay. That's a really, yeah, that's a really good, I thought that was a really good response. Most definitely. So would you say a lot of your students in the past, what is the biggest excuse that you've heard? Which are the biggest excuses which you've heard from students when you ask them, oh, okay, why are you taking
I
long to
think
reach this level in English?
um, yes, if we ask them, I mean, if I ask them, why did you not complete this task or that task, they just answered like, okay, I was busy in that activities, I was busy
Okay.
uh, having party with my guests, or I was
Okay.
busy with my friends playing
Uh,
PUBG or anything like that.
Coach.
So these are the excuses.
Yes.
So from their feedbacks, I can understand that they are actually not, they don't know their purpose of learning English.
All right.
Later, they blame their teachers. Like, she couldn't teach me English, or he
Okay.
couldn't teach me English properly. But language is not mathematics. I cannot just
Yes.
give the rules and structures, and you know the equations, and you are going to practice. No, language is a communication, a kind of tool that you can use to communicate with others. So you need
Okay.
to give yourself inputs, you need to practice. Without this, you cannot be successful.
Most definitely. And the last question I was going to ask quickly. Actually, no, hold on. Just 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah. So the last question, and I think this is a very important question, Amrita, is when I come across a English learner, they always talk to me about I don't. They don't have the accent. I want the English. I want the British accent. I want the American accent. And I'm saying to them, that's not the most important thing. As I say to them, as long as I can understand you, which I
Yes.
can most of the time, I can understand them. With even if they've got a French accent, Spanish accent, Egyptian accent, I said the accent is not. It's not that. It's not that important. The main thing which is important is that are you clear? Are you pronouncing the words correctly? So do you get these kind of questions from your students? Do they talk to you about I don't want to speak English, or I'm shy, or I'm nervous about speaking English because I don't have the British accent? Because this is what I hear a lot. So I just wanted to know if you hear these types of questions, or these worries, I should say.
Yes, this kind of questions are frequently asked by my learners as well. Okay,
Mm,
how can I have American accent? How can I have British accent? So these are the
mm,
kind of questions I always face. But I give them always the same kind of feedback, same kind of answer that you told us right now. That accent is not an important thing as long as
correct.
you can communicate, as long as you can share your views and ideas and you can use it as a tool, then
Yes.
it's okay. You don't need to. And if your listener can understand you,
Mm,
if another person from UK or America can understand you,
mm,
and if it serves your purpose, then why do you need to copy the accent? We don't need to
mm.
copy the accent,
No,
but we should pronounce the word correctly. Yes.
that's most
And
definitely. So
yeah,
yeah, most definitely. I would say you said your native language is Bangla.
yes, Bangla.
So, for example, if I was going to learn Bangla, I know, especially living in England, where I'm going to hear a British accent most of the time. If I was trying to learn your language, I don't think I would ever achieve the accent.
No, no, it's not possible actually because it
So,
depends on
I
so
mean,
many other things. Yes.
yes. So, and I think that will give me a lot of stress, and
Yes.
it could actually deter me from learning. If I constantly keep thinking about, oh, my Bangla's not perfect until I have accent.
You can learn Bangla. You can learn Bangla, and you can speak Bangla fluently
Mm,
after certain period of time of constant practicing. But you can never achieve the native Bengali speaker like accent. It's not
mm.
really possible. Hmm.
I don't believe that. So, but I will be content. I'll be happy. I'll be happy that I can at least speak the language and pronounce it. I wouldn't get hung up about the accent because another that's another stress. That could actually cause me not to speak it, and I think that's sometimes a big hindrance why people don't want to speak. I've been in language groups where it's an English language group where everyone's free to speak, and sometimes it's mute, it's silence. And I say to people, why is it silent? And then they may not answer, but I feel sometimes it because no, I don't think it's sometimes because of their level. I don't think it's because of their level or their grammar. I don't think it's the level because sometimes I think it's they're conscious of the way they sound, meaning their accent a lot of the times, which is sad. I think once you get past that, I think we all, in order to advance in anything in life, we have to start from a humble place. We have to start from the beginning. And I feel a lot of people want just to be at the top already. You have to start low, but a lot of people don't want to be seen that way. People don't want to be seen as, oh, I'm still learning or I'm a baby in the language. See, people want to always look like the greatest or whatever. So in order I think to learn anything, you have to start from humble beginnings. You have to take advice. You have to listen to what people say who are there for you, who want you to advance. So I think of course, at an older age, learning a language as an adult is a humbling experience. Because when
Yes.
you're a child, when you're
They
sorry,
need
when
to
you're
be patient. They need to
yeah,
have some passions as well because
mm,
language cannot be learned overnight.
mm,
There are so many teachers, so-called teachers in Bangladesh, that okay, do my course. You can learn English within 90 days, or within 30 days, or even
oh,
within
that's
60
crazy.
days.
Uh,
This is a
th-
big lie. Yes.
I don't like seeing those types. I see those books, I see those courses online, and they annoy me. I do. They make me angry, and I see that because that's gonna get the learners' hope up high. Their hopes are gonna be very high, and you're just gonna yeah, basically the learner's gonna have a false sense of hope, basically, and it's not gonna come true.
Okay, there is another
Um.
wants to join us, Mr. Kalimullah.
Oh,
Hello,
good evening.
hear
Hello,
us?
Assalamu alaikum. Hi, thank you for
Good.
letting me join your company.
How you doing,
Mr.
Kalim?
Hi, hello to
You're right,
both
yeah.
of you.
Good man. Is that
Mr.
man?
Kalim, Please introduce yourself to
Hello.
us. Introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Kalimullah from Kalimullah from Pakistan, and especially from KFK province, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And I'm student of accounting. Recently, I had taken admission in accounting.
And Kaleem, can you hear me? Yeah, can
I
you hear me?
think
So
he's facing network problem.
Okay.
Yes.
His English sounded quite good. Your English sounds quite good, Kaleem. It's unfortunate about the connection, but
Yes.
I would like to speak to Kaleem just to find out some things about his English. He said he's from Did you say he's from Pakistan?
Yes, he's from Pakistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or something
Okay.
like that. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, as I'm
Okay.
from different country. And he is an accountant student. Okay, Salim. Okay, he got disconnected.
Okay.
We are
Cool.
so sorry for this. Okay, so where were we? We're talking about. Yeah, I lost the track.
I think the last question I was talking about was accents, but yeah,
Yeah.
we've covered that. And do you teach online or do you teach in class?
Well, I teach online and on ground. I mean, in class, both.
Oh, both. Okay. And
Yes.
do you see any differences? I've never taught in a class. I've only taught online. But what differences do you find from
Well,
teaching in
it's
class?
almost the same. It's almost the same. But during online classes, what I always face the kind of problem is the network problem, internet connection.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
if they don't have a fast internet connection, then it interrupts the class. This is the problem we have to face.
Okay.
If, yes,
All
he
right.
joined again.
How you doing, Kalim? Can you hear us? Good evening, Kalim. Can you hear us? I
Hello.
don't think he can.
His mean internet connection is not allowing him to talk to us.
Yeah, the weather is so horrible here. It's very bad weather and heavily raining outside, so it is
I understand.
creating internet problem maybe. So how about first of all, hi to both of you and rest of your watching people. And now I can introduce myself. And it's a pleasure for me to letting me to introduce myself through your connection. My name is Kalimullah from Pakistan, especially from KPK province. And entrepreneur self and and my also I in people and I keen to learn English as a language, and this is the need of the time when all it is
Amrita,
It's
why
really
don't you Amrita, why don't you ask Kaleem to make his questions via the chat so we can respond to him via the chat, because obviously his connection is bad.
yes, and it's really hard to understand him due to the weather. I think he's facing bad weather issue, and that's why. Yeah. Kalim, if you have any question to ask us, could you please write on the comment? Yes, we are going to answer you.
Okay, cool.
Here we got a comment from Muhammad Kashim. Very informative session. Is this person?
Is this okay? Oh, who's Maham? We have Maham Kwazim. How you doing, Maham Kwazim? Very informative
Muhammad
session. This
Qasim.
is from
Muhammad Qasim. Um,
Okay.
okay. Yes.
Okay. So since we're still on the topic of language learning, yes. The majority of your students are they? How can I say? How should I say? What is the majority percentage-wise of your students who become English teachers? Because I know most of your students must be learning English for work-related
Yeah.
purposes. But
Yeah.
is there a percentage of your students who are learning English in your country to become teachers to teach their people?
Yeah. I got 5% so
Okay.
far. Yes.
Okay. So there's okay, cool. So majority obviously for work-related
Work
reasons. Yeah.
related is almost 50% and 50% students.
Mm-mm. And what's the age group?
Age group
Majority.
is adults
Uh,
above 18. Most of them.
okay.
Most of them are above 18. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Oh yeah. So since this is the first time where we've met one another, I was gonna say, how long have you been doing these informative sessions about English?
Um, Okay, I have been into online English teaching since 2017.
Mm-mm.
Before even completing my post graduation, I started doing just after my graduation.
Yeah.
And yes, I started this online using a StreamYard platform and online interview session just, since last month.
Okay. And how's
Yeah.
it been going?
Yes, it's going great. I can attract a lot of audience.
Yes. Okay. So I would say thank you for letting me
And
know
it's
about.
it's really helpful. It's really helpful. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Thanks for letting me know about this particular platform. I didn't know. I've seen it, but I've never used it, so I never knew how simple it is to use. Have you
It's
used Zoom?
really simple and it's
Quite
easy.
simple.
And Zoom does not allow you to go live on Facebook if you use it free.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because you need to have the paid version of Zoom if you want to go live on
Okay.
Facebook. But
All
using
right.
StreamYard, you can go live on Facebook, for free.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you also create your own learning material, or do you use material from a syllabus or from the books, from English
Okay,
learning books?
I make my own materials. And I wrote an ebook. I have the
Okay.
soft copy. Yes, I use this for my students. It's all about. I mean, it is actually helpful for them if they get the kind of materials in a book format. It's really
Yes.
helpful.
So,
Yeah,
you said it's an ebook? Yes.
ebook. Yes.
Is it a free? Is it a free ebook?
A free ebook for my students.
Okay, cool. So it's not. Is it an ebook? Is it an ebook where you'd like to promote on my channel, or is it just strictly for students?
Yeah, no, it's free. It's free for everyone, not
Okay.
just for my
Okay.
students.
Cool.
It's kind of guidelines, because how you
Yes.
can practice, it's kind of self-help guideline. I mean, using this kind
Yes.
of book, you can practice alone at home. You have all the resources and materials, but just because of the guidelines, you don't know where to start, how to start,
That's
and
true.
how to use the materials properly. If you don't know this techniques, and you don't know how you can practice at home, then it's really not helpful for you. So and sometimes learners get confused because of you know because of thousands of materials you can have
That's true.
online. They
Yeah.
get, I mean, confused
Yes.
who to follow, how to use the guidelines, where to start, how to start. So if they follow my ebook, then it will be helpful for them to start in a proper way. So
Okay.
I describe there how to start learning English step by step.
Okay. And
Okay.
what's the name of your Facebook group where people can find you?
My Facebook group, Online English Classroom, and
Alright.
Online English Classroom page. And if they search on by tagging Speak English with Amrita, then they can have my Facebook page and my Facebook group.
Okay. And do you have any material on YouTube or Instagram?
No, I haven't started yet, but I'm
Okay.
planning to start
Okay. Cool.
soon.
Good. Okay. I would
Yeah.
love to see your material in the future. Most definitely.
Okay. So here's another one. Um, yes, please introduce yourself to us. We cannot hear you.
Okay, it's me Arslan Arif. I'm basically from tribal districts, newly merged KP district Orakzai, KPK, Pakistan. And I'm a bachelor student of English in Namal, National University of Modern Languages in Islamabad. I'm doing my BS Bachelor in English.
Nice to meet you.
Okay,
Nice
thank
to
you
meet you,
so
sir.
much. Okay, will you introduce yourself? Now I joined you recently.
Okay.
Could you say
So,
could, could you say your name again, please?
Yeah, it's me Arslan Arif.
Aslam. How
Arslan
you doing,
Ali.
Aslam?
जी जी.
And how long have you been learning English?
Yeah, I recently joined. Approximately, it's 6 months ago.
Okay. I mean,
As
your
now
pro.
I
I
am in
mean,
second
No,
semester.
you are in second semester, but how long have you
okay.
been learning English?
I have been learning. 1 year ago, I started this program.
Oh, I mean, I don't mean that you need.
Before starting your graduation program, have you ever learned this language? I mean, without having the background knowledge of English, you cannot start doing this program. So, we just asked you, how long have you been learning English? As we don't know the
Uh,
education system of Pakistan.
yeah, before starting graduation program, I was studying pre-medical, and I joined English program recently, maybe 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
Okay. Khalid, is it Kaleem? Can you hear us?
Yes, yes. Now I think internet problem is solved.
Oh, that's good. Great to have you back. I was gonna say, how long have you been studying English?
From I guess from childhood, I had been admitted in the English school because private schools, so they are all teaching um, English courses. Even all the subjects are in English, so we are practicing English from our childhood. Not that much
Okay.
good as extra.
And do you use English in your work? Kaleem, do you use
Conflict
English in your
because
work?
we are using so many languages. I guess we use almost three languages.
Okay. It looks like we have someone else on the in the group.
Yes.
Could you introduce
There is
yourself,
another
please?
These
one.
mixing languages create conflicts. So we are not born to.
I can. Okay, Kalim, so what's the purpose of your learning English? Why are you learning English?
Because it's the requirement of every field nowadays. You even join every field in your life, in practical life, or in education life. When you go abroad for a job or for just wages on, so it's the need of time. Therefore, I and most of the people others want to learn English. Maybe a basic, but they want to learn because it can create many opportunities and they can find all the thing easily. So that's
So
maybe the major
is
purpose.
English a foreign language in your country? Is English a foreign language
Well,
in your country or second language or third language?
maybe English is given much preference here in Pakistan as other language because it is taught and it is used at each and every level. Maybe when primary kids, there are separate schools of English medium and Urdu medium. So most of the people and most of the parents want to admit their kids in English medium schools. So sure they are not going to experience any English learning, and they can go and create many opportunities for themselves. So I think that English is a second language in Pakistan after Urdu.
Okay, that's good. So, how long have you been learning English in Pakistan? Since your childhood?
Thank you. When I was child, I was admitted in English medium school, but there we just read textbooks. Even I don't remember that we have learned English as for the requirements of our syllabus. So we just go through this syllabus work of reading questions, remembering the answer. So then like me, when they graduate, even they don't know English, and they don't satisfy their from their self, and even they don't get a good jobs in future.
Okay, okay. So, Mr. Tai, you want to ask them any question?
Yes,
You want to
Kaleem.
question? Yes.
Yes, Kaleem. What you with your English? Do you plan to work around the world? Do you want to work in an English-speaking country since you know English?
Yes, yes, sir.
Do you? I was. Yeah. Do you want to work
Hello, can
in
you
an
repeat, sir?
English? Who's speaking?
As you can
Who's
speak in
speaking?
English, so do you want to work around the
Pardon
world?
me, sir.
Do you want to go to move to an English
Uh,
speaking country?
yes, that's the question.
Uh,
Do you want to work in an
Sorry again.
English-speaking country? Okay, so do you want
Yes.
to work in this English-speaking country? Do you want to work in America? Do you
Sir.
want to work in England?
Yeah,
I can write it in the
I
chat.
prefer US.
Okay. I don't mean the
Yeah.
accents. I don't mean the accents. I mean, where would you like to work in an English-speaking country since you know English? Do you understand my question? I can write
So
it in the
do you
chat
know
if you want.
English? Do you
USA is my preference. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Are you asking me where will I prefer to work as
Yes,
when
yes,
I
yes,
learn English?
Yes.
yes, yes.
So I my preference will be to US.
Okay. And why is that? And why in the US?
There are so many opportunities. Maybe I'm considering
Okay. And
because my field is now I had selected is accounting, and America is the uh, I can say major country of trading. So I can improve myself over there very easily, and
mm,
there is so much opportunities for me.
okay, that makes sense. Okay. Oh, when I was going to ask you as well, when you started learning English from a child, were you exposed to American English or British English?
Um, Mr. Tai, we can move
Yes,
to another person because they are waiting eagerly. Yes.
Honestly
that's
speaking,
true.
sir, we have
That's
not
true.
experienced the accent learning in our childhood. But when I admitted in college, so our major work was on the American accent training.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your responses. I appreciate them a lot. They were very insightful. And we're going to move these
Uh,
questions on to the two
um,
other people in the group now. Thank you, Kalim. S-
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
So we can move to Arslan. Arsalan Arif. If I'm not wrong, your first name is Arsalan, right? Um,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
how long have you been learning English? You just told us that you joined English language learning program 1 year ago. Okay. So what motivated you to learn English? As from
As
both of you are
as
from KPK, both of you are from KPK Pakistan, but I got a different kind of answer from Khalil, and you gave us different kind of answer. Like is been learning English since his childhood,
yes.
but you just started learning English 1 year ago. So could you please explain us why you started learning English 1 year back when as far I know that in Pakistan, English is being taught since childhood.
Yes, ma'am. As Mr. Kaleem said, that it's the second language in Pakistan. So same is the case with us. As it's the modern language, modern era times need this type of language. So we would need to go through this English language. That's why these things motivated me, especially as we see the developed countries, as language is a source of communication. So it plays a very important role that to the students that they need or they get this language as it's becoming more and more popular among across the globe. That's why.
Mm. Okay, sir. I was just going to add one last question for you.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you want to work? Do you want to work in another country where they speak English?
Yeah, it's my keen desire to go to America as I have planned for an semester exchange program, Fulbright, offered by America. So I will, inshallah, I will attend that program, and it's my keen desire to go to the America and learn and study with such type of people that they enhance my skills and my English language skills as well.
Well done.
Okay,
And I hope that that
all right.
happens. Okay. All the
Yeah.
best.
So all the best, yes. And we can move to another side. Are you there?
So someone's sorry. Someone's
Will you?
breathing very heavy.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, as the topic
We
is
can
about
hear the
how to
sound of
improve
breathing.
English
We
language
can hear the
skills.
sound of breathing.
Yes. So yeah. Sorry.
As the
Before
topic is about,
before you
Excuse
say
me.
the question.
yes, yes.
Those who are not participating, please mute your channel. And someone is breathing.
very loud.
Yes, very
It's
loud.
very loud. Let me just write it. Hold on, hold on. Can
Don't
Will
close
you
your.
guide us
yeah, that's it.
about the
It's,
topic
yeah.
that how we can improve our English language skills?
Okay, you
Okay.
need to put constant effort. You need to practice. You need to give yourself comprehensible input from so many resources. For example, you can start listening to English music, watching English movies, and you can read English books. If you don't have English reading habits, then you can start reading children's book. You can start at least have this kind of habit, okay? Because it's going to give you a lot of comprehensible input, and then you will have to practice. You will have to try to produce. And one thing that I will give you as a suggestion, that avoid translating your target language, I mean, from your mother tongue to your target language. Don't translate. Just try to start thinking in English. I mean, whatever is going on. For example, you are now having an online English learning session. I mean, you are participating in a live session. So why you are participating, and what you are doing now, and what are the questions on your mind. So all of this you can think in English, instead of thinking it from your in your mother tongue. You can start thinking in English. It's going to be helpful. um, yes,
What's
Mr.
that?
Tai.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So you wanted different
um,
methods.
yes.
Yes. Sorry. I was gonna I was just gonna add to that. You obviously want techniques and methods how to improve your English. Okay. So I'm gonna give you some methods that you may not have heard before. For example, obviously, when you're learning English, you watch films and listen to music. Yes. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes,
Can you hear
yes,
me?
Arsalan.
Yeah. So yeah. So
yes, ma'am.
you you watch films. Yes, in English. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. And I'm
Okay. So
listening and watching that
okay.
too.
Okay. So when you're watching these films, you're just listening. That's passive, which is good. You have to listen. You need to take in. Yeah. You have to take in, like
Yeah,
Amrita said, comprehensible input. So obviously you need to give out output. So basically, if you're watching a film, the next time you're watching a film, I want you to try something. Yeah.
yeah,
So instead of watching the whole film and listening, when a, when a character speaks,
Break it
and
into parts.
when a character poses a question, yeah, instead of instead of playing the film, pause the film, stop the film, and then you respond. You make a response instead of the character who the character's speaking to. So, for example, you're watching, I don't know, you're watching a Marvel a movie. You're watching Spider-Man, and Spider-Man saying something to someone. So he could say, "What are you doing?" And the person may respond, "Oh, I'm going to conquer the world." You could obviously, before that character says that, you could pause the conversation and you could respond. So in that way, you're not just watching the film passively. You're also putting in your inputs. You're giving out an output. You're listening and you're giving out an output. So try that as well, because if you watch the whole film, you may forget the whole film because it's hard to
Yes.
concentrate. If it's not your native language, it's hard to concentrate. When I watch films in French, in Spanish, I find it difficult to concentrate the whole time. So I always need to engage myself. It's just engaging. That's all you're doing. So you don't need to watch the entire film for the whole hour or 2 hours. You can watch it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. But as long as you input, so next time you watch the film, basically just pause, respond to the question, pause, respond to the question. So I hope that can be another aid, another assistance to help you. So if you do try it, if you do try this technique, please let me know how it went.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. I want to ask a question.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Hello. Can you put hear
Yes,
me,
I can hear
sir?
you. Yes, I can hear you.
Uh, so we when we watching English movies or English song, when we watching English movies or English songs, they are so fluent in accent. So we are experiencing a problem to hear them well, and we can't understand what they are saying due to their fluent English accent of Native Americans or Native British. So, what is the technique so which we can apply to hear them well and
Okay,
get
so
what they are saying?
okay,
Because
so
movie is on the what we are doing on our daily basis.
okay, so the way I'd answer that question is basically try to find the films with subtitles. It works better if you find films with the subtitles, so you
Yes.
obviously know what they're saying. So, but it definitely works because I use it with my language learning. Right, you know, you don't know, but I'm learning obviously French and Spanish, and I employ these same techniques for myself, and they work for me.
Yes.
So basically, it works better if you find
And
films with the subtitles.
same applies to English music. When you are
Mm,
listening to a music, you can put the lyrics on, try to understand, try to read the lyrics, and at the same time, you can listen to the music. But I
Sorry,
can give you one
sorry,
suggestion.
I can.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Amrita, you have another guess.
Uh, yes. Yes. She is Mariam. Mariam, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Uh, yeah. Hello, everyone. This is
Hello.
Mariam Aziz Chauhan from Karachi, Pakistan, and I am a teacher by profession, but I teach to very small kids, the young ones, and I'm so glad that I had your discussion about how to learn language, English language especially. So, as far you are talking about movies and all, so what my difficulty is regarding this that I understand the British accent, Australian one, Irish one, Scotland one, but I really feel very difficult in American one. Even though I when I watch the movies with the subtitle, they use the phrases, very strange phrases that I cannot relate with the picture and with the vocabulary. So that's what I face the difficulty. So what you have the solution for it?
Mm, mm, mm. So, are you when you say the idioms and maybe phrasal verbs? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the idioms.
And the phrase, yeah. To be honest, to be honest, there's no. I have to tell you the truth. There's no easy way to learn idioms or phrasal verbs. It's like where you're from your country. I couldn't understand your idioms or phrasal verbs. I would have to be part of your culture most of the time. But obviously, very common English phrasal verbs and idioms. But to be honest, you're going to have to look them up. You will have to actually look them up. Sometimes YouTube has a great YouTube has how should I say, they have really good examples. It's best to learn with examples with maybe animation and also images. So if you try to learn a idiom or phrasal verb without an image or an animation, and you're non-native English speaker, it's going to be very difficult. So I'd suggest the easiest way is to learn them with animation or image, or maybe someone said a phrasal verb and they've got maybe an excerpt of the film, a short part of the film where someone's explaining something. So, for example, I will say something. I'll say an idiom in English. I'll say an English idiom. They'll say in England. They'll say, "Oh, it's raining cats and dogs today." Have you heard that before? It's raining
Yes,
cats and dogs.
it's very common now.
Yeah, so it's very.
I want to add one thing, Mr. Tye. I want to add one thing because she can do one thing, like she can just go to the YouTube, and on search tool she can type commonly used English idiomatic expressions, or commonly used English slangs, American
Yes.
slangs, or British slangs. Then she will get a lot of tutorials, a lot of English episodes, and it will be really helpful for her to understand. She can practice by watching English movies. And if she gets the problem, like she gets the problem of understanding that particular idiomatic expression, then she can do one thing. She can go on Google and just search for that particular idiomatic expression, and she will get the meaning
I think her connection. Can you hear me? I think her
Yeah, I can hear you.
connection's. Hello? She's back here.
Yeah.
Is she not? Oh, she's not back. Okay, so yeah, she said search for idiomatic expressions. I'll give you one. There's one particular website. I can't remember the name of the teacher, but it's called Seven. Let me tell. I'll put it in the chat box. 7 ESL. So he's an ESL teacher, and he's got hundreds of examples.
Okay.
Website. He does have a lot of idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs expressions, which can help you a lot. But I say for yourself, it helps a lot when you see an image with or animation with it. For example, give me an idiom in your culture. Give me an idiom. Could you tell me an idiom in your culture which is very common, or phrasal
And
verb? Yeah, but obviously
in my
give it in
culture,
give it in the English translation, obviously, for myself.
hand to mouth, being hand to mouth.
Okay. So we use that. We use that. You use that as well in your
Yeah.
in your country. Okay. All right. Give me one where maybe we don't use in England, where I'm from. Is there any?
Like you said before, you have given the example before. You can take
What
that
did I say?
one.
What did I say
It's
before? I said
raining like
raining cats. It's raining cats. So you use something like that as well. You have
yeah.
something like that in your. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, okay. Okay, if you didn't know that particular idiom, I would, what would you? It's hard to say, but what would you think that most students would think that is? If I say it's raining cats and dogs, what would you think most students would think that is?
Raining sketch and dog. Maybe it's raining very heavily, or maybe there are a lot of problems. It's
Okay.
indicating a lot of
Yeah.
problems.
Okay. Yes. Okay, and you said that you're an English teacher for young children. What age group? What's the age group?
It's a they are preschoolers.
Okay. And do you do you create the material, or do you use material given by the school from a syllabus or from a book? Or
We use the both strategies. Sometimes we
okay.
create the material, sometimes we follow the syllabus.
Okay. And in your country, is it mandatory for all children to learn English, to go to
Yeah.
learn English. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, what age did you start learning English from?
From the age of 3.
3. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're basically fluent. You're fluent. You're
Yeah.
advanced. Okay, cool. Okay, does anyone else in this group want to ask a question? Or hello, sir. In the, I don't know what your name is. In the blue top, I can say in the
Actually,
blue. In the blue,
we
would you?
today we cannot
Go on,
see the
sorry.
names.
Yes, because the reason why, because I'm not the host.
Oh.
Amrita was the host, so that's why I can't
Mm-hmm.
see the name. Yes, sir. Would you like to introduce yourself? You're
Thank you.
wearing a blue. I don't. Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear
Thank
you.
you very much, sir, for giving me opportunity to speak here in your show. And you are discussing about how to improve English skills. So
Yes.
I will tell you something, and I want to share some things. So how we can improve our speaking. So the first thing is don't be afraid to make mistakes, because this is the thing can make you confident. Be confident. People can only correct your mistake when you hear you. And
Mm,
second thing, surround yourself in English. Put yourself in all English speaking environment where you can learn
mm,
passively. The best way to learn is through speaking. If you
mm,
speak more, you will learn more. So that's
mm,
why the surround yourself in English is very important.
definitely.
And thus, third thing is practice every day. Make yourself a study plan every day. What do you want to study about English, like grammar? Do you want to learn grammar today? What do you want to learn
Yes.
tomorrow? So decide how much time a week you are going to spend studying. So consistently practice every day. Consistency is important. If you practice one day 1 hour, and second day you say, I don't need to practice today, I will do tomorrow. No, this is very bad.
Mm,
uh, Set your routine first. This is very important.
okay. I like
Yeah.
your I like your take on how to learn English. Also, I
Yeah.
would like to ask you: do you have any tips which you personally have discovered yourself? Tips or advice you could give which you've learned English without you haven't found in a book. You haven't, a teacher hasn't told you this. Have you found your own particular way, your own technique, which you could share with myself and others here?
Yeah. I am following one teacher that is an American teacher, and his accent is very simple, and he's a very good teacher. Uh, I forget his name now. His name is, I think, I will share after the show, inshallah. Now forget his name.
Okay.
I follow him. I think since last 1 year. So I learn a lot of things from him. He always told in his videos and every video, don't follow and don't learn grammar. Don't focus on a grammar. Focus on your speaking, and try more speak. If you speak more, you will learn more. You will made mistakes. If you made mistakes, you will learn. So don't be afraid from